Hello. I think we're good. We have audio this week. We're coming through clean and hopefully loud and clear. So welcome everybody to Tuesday on the Dotlet, where we play Witch Girl Adventures, which is its own independent RPG full of magical, whimsical girls who go on adventures. That's what the game's about. And that's what we do! And I'm so excited to be back this night, tonight with these ladies, because I think a bunch of us have been at con, so we have, like, con lag. But in the wake of con is, like, this extreme exhaustion, but also creative energy. And so I'm hoping tonight's gonna be a very interesting, episode. Last week was informational. And they got a lot of gifts at the end. New gear, some items. They got to go shopping in the private closet of Elizabeth's dad. Oh, and I guess technically her mother as well, since one item was also acquired that belonged to Elizabeth's mom. And through the usual strange series of events, they learned that Aurora Mist is hiding out as a dog on the grounds of Willow Mist. So, before we hop in to see what she has to say, thank you for that follow, Rainy Keys. We are going to go around and meet our witches. Tell us who you are and who you're playing. And we're going to start directly below me. We're going to start with Shauna.
Hey, Shauna, Flying Source on Twitter. I am playing Jess, the protection / healing witch, who also happens to be half werewolf and love broom sports. So I'm curious to see where this goes. I'm a little afraid of having hunters on the rest of the girls, so. Boy.
Yeah. Alright, hang on. Okay, that was my computer being weird. Also, we move right along to somebody that I know's got con lag, because I saw her this weekend, which is Tiffany.
Hello. I'm here. Yes, I am Tiffany. I am on the North by Northwest podcast with Dot, as well as on the internet's doing cosplay things, which is RTS cosplay everywhere else. And I definitely have con lag from Dragon Con.
Woo, Dragon Con!
Woo, Dragon Con! But I am here tonight playing Percy Rosewood. She is a cybermancy and elementalism witch. So she's all about code, both digital and DNA.
It's true. All of those things you just said. That's all true. Kika, welcome back to the Dotlet.
Hey, I'm Kika. I'm an independent content creator, and and somehow with my inability to speak, I run inclusivity panels and lore panels at events. I am playing Elizabeth DeTas, who is a time and space and mentalism witch who is very concerned with magical ethics and is very upset with adults right now.
Very, yeah, there's been some trust issues, I would say, that have arisen in the last few episodes. So we'll, I feel like all the nods are like, yeah, we don't trust you. Dot. It's really just you we don't trust. Moving along to Catherine, another person I had the joy of seeing this weekend at DragonCon.
Hi, I am Catherine Barsonistas, gluttonous_geek on Twitter. I run the nerdy food blog, thegluttonousgeek.com, and yeah, I play Loretta Maytree, the conjuration divination witch who was kind of raised in a 1950s sitcom world, and I would say right now she is kind of wondering what's happened to everyone outside of Willamette. So, but yeah, I also was at DragonCon, and fun beds in the Hyatt. Yeah.
Yeah, mine was pretty awful too.
Yeah, but you know, chiropractor visit today, and I'm feeling better. So yes, I think tonight might be a lot easier.
Oh, that sounds great. Nice. And somebody who I was told took a nap this weekend. Eris.
So everybody else went to convention. I got at least one nap in. Who's winning? You tell me. I am Eris God.
I love it.
The hula hooping seamstress who plays a lot of RPGs. And today I am playing Raven Callahan, who is a alteration witch who dabbles in elementalism and protection because she's a jinx too. She's really lucky to hang out around. She's very perturbed at the state of affairs at the moment, so we'll see.
I feel like everybody is a little perturbed at me about the current situation. So, speaking of that situation, you can make it more drama filled by supporting on the Dotlight in multiple ways. Bits, tips will fill the little bar below, and when it is full, I have special drama. I have a special drama hat I pull things from, and then I drop it in. And sometimes I'll ask you to help me with that, so help us out. It also helps me pay this lovely cast, which I am so excited to be able to do for the first time ever, which helps us feed all of our cats, right? Or pets. We could have other pets, fishes and critters and furry things.
Like plants.
Plants? Yeah, we gotta feed the plants. See?
Yeah, so I can keep getting stuff from the garden.
That's right. Yeah, show everybody how much. Yeah. Garden vegetables. You helped make that happen. Actually, Kika really made that happen by going and picking them today. But let's hop right into this. So you learned that Aurora Mist was here at Willamist. You gather yourself from Elizabeth's basement, where you have been hanging out in her father's secret hidey hole. And in here were all kinds of things, from potions to gear to brooms, and possibly even a few answers to questions that you might have had. And the butler, whose name I remember, Ferdinand, takes you upstairs to another door. It stands out from the rest of the doors in the house, as you clearly know it to be a teleportation door. It's often installed in magical homes and allows you to kind of key in or pad in locations, especially very well-known ones, kind of like a map. And he walks over, knowing the few digits needed to dial up Willow Mist Academy, and beeps it in. The door opens up. You go through. And all of you stand in front of the equestrian stables that are now empty. There are no horses here. The Willow Mist campus is quiet, only wind through the trees. And in front of you, of course, is the dog. Blonde collie of some kind transforms, and it's Aurora Mist. And she says, let me say this, when she transforms, she looks ragged. It's easy to tell. This is not the professor that you left. And she holds one of her arms up as if it is broken. It is wrapped and bound. She looks at all of you very haggard, as if you don't actually exist.
Miss Aurora Mist, is that you?
Who are you?
It's me, Percy.
No, it's not. Percy is gone.
No, it really is. We just got out of where we were.
Her eyes kind of wrinkle. She backs up a little bit.
Elizabeth is just petting Vex and reconnecting with her familiar.
Miss Aurora Mist, we were in a mind prison spell
Dang.
for 6 months. I'm not really sure how best to... Well, okay, so starting at the beginning, and Loretta just, like, gives an account of, like,
Loretta,
running off to the Kyron Academy and finding out the information about the Gorgon, and then finding about the Gorgon and going to the Gorgon, and how they all got...
Okay, this is definitely going to be this is definitely a social skill. I want to see how well you decipher out this amount of information, because you could sound like a crazy person. So,
Okay.
I'm going to take your social die, have you roll it. If you have any additional skill you think relevant to this moment. Like,
Gossip, maybe?
Loretta, why don't you just show her in the compact?
In the...
In the compact?
Oh,
Compact?
that!
Show her rather than... I mean, it's a long story,
But then I might lose zap points.
1,000 words. What's a video?
But video killed the radio star.
Good.
But we're not radio stars, and it might be faster.
Says you!
Shh.
Right.
As the group begins to muddle up, and your usual like banter, as you begin to kind of back and forth in your teenage ways, her eyes get wide. In this moment, she goes, "My God, it is you! It is you! It is you!" And she like points to kind of back away. She says, "You're dead. You're supposed to be dead.
Oh, we're not dead.
Oh,
No.
How did you get here?"
Dead?
Well,
Magic.
Elizabeth... yes.
You're not wrong.
Technically. She goes, "Where have you been?"
Well,
Uh,
that's what I was trying to tell you. You see,
Oh, we
there
were
was this
prisoners.
And
We were magic prisoners in a magic
You-
mindscape, and it was bad.
You disappeared. Your father went looking for you. I went with him. There was nothing there but your gear. You did.
I already contacted Dad, so he knows.
You had contact
okay.
with your father?
Yes.
He was alive. His entire troop was alive?
Did you think he was dead?
Well, we haven't had contact from them in weeks.
Oh, he's okay. For now.
This is great news.
Ashley's alive too.
Yes.
And all of our parents thought we were fine at school and didn't know anything.
Hunters were sending them letters.
We think hunters were sending them letters. We're
There.
like
At least,
98% positive.
Sure.
at
Which
least
was
at
even
least
weirder.
one hunter was sending them letters.
Yeah.
So, how about we talk over this over some tea?
I'd love tea.
How about we go back to the room? We
That's
said
what I
that.
mean.
Yes.
The room is much nicer than
Yes,
this
it-
place.
And I can put defensive spells on it.
I think we already have that.
We need more defensive spells.
Okay.
More, we need more defensive spells. Okay, Aurora Mist, like I said, she looks very tired, and she's definitely a little thinner since the last time you saw her, which is a feat. And she kind of sits in the straw, the old straw, in the equestrian stables, and she says, "There's so much you don't understand. So much has happened."
Well, you know what? You can tell us over tea, and we'll have some cakes or something in our protective circle. Here, you can jump on my broom, and we'll fly there. It'll be fast.
She says, "Okay, 1 second," and she kind of steps back, and you see she kind of waves her hand, and she transforms back into the dog. And she barks and tears ass for the dormitories.
You
I wanna-
guys, is it
I take
weird
off.
to kind of want to pet your headmistress because she's a really cute puppy right now?
Yes,
Is
just
that
a
weird? Is it
little
just
bit.
me?
It's a little bit.
Okay.
You're not the only one. It's okay.
Okay, thanks, Loretta. And Percy will walk after Conger Spaniel Aurora Mist.
Just
Do you
now
guys
think about
mind-
all the times that she thought she was when she turned to a wolf. It's like, is that what people think?
Yeah, Percy
A
definitely
little
wants
bit.
to.
Elizabeth just says, "I'd like to pick up something from the library quick."
Would you like me to come with you?
Yes, you
Okay.
coming with would be good because I think we might want to get the same thing.
Oh.
I think you might not be wrong.
It's
Let's
just a
do
weird
it.
way to say you're right.
Correct. I love it.
I'll go with the rest of them. So if yeah.
Okay.
Everybody still have their whistles. Good.
Yeah.
Do it.
Show of hands. Who's going with with Aurora Mist?
Percy.
Perfect.
Oliver
And
took off.
great.
And she also took off. Now she's racing her.
Oh, just check the cupboard for the tea. I'll be right there.
Okay. You guys kind of depart. So you guys are headed to the kitchen for tea?
We were gonna go to our room.
Yeah, you guys were headed with Aurora Mist to your dormitory. But Loretta and Elizabeth were headed to the kitchen.
Library.
The library. I'm sorry.
Library.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, it was just more since I offered. I'm not going to be there to make it. It's like, oh dear, I hope they don't
Got it.
burn
Yeah.
the-
Oh, they probably. Well, Aurora Mist may make the tea. We'll see. How she's feeling. Okay. Yeah, you guys can head off to the library. The dormitory is empty. It is quiet. Everybody's things have been cleaned out. Mostly. It looks like people probably left in a hurry, so they took the important things. Let me rephrase that. And there's an eeriness to a silent school. The other two of you take to what would have been the classroom building, along with the library and the study hall. And when you get there, it's the same. Books still stacked in the library, unshelved. Everything kind of left, books open on the table, notebooks, pencils behind.
I just realized Elizabeth is now really tall and in this school that she hasn't actually technically been to in a while, and it's empty, so I feel like it's kind of like going back to your old elementary school on an off day.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It all feels a little off. Yeah. It all feels a little off. And by off, I mean it's just eerie. It's not the same place you left.
Everything is just so weird and creepy, and I hate it.
I know, but well, at least we don't have to worry about being kept away from the archives this time, right?
Yeah, that is true, and we can find what the things that your mom wrote.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like to see that. Goodness, it's creepy here.
Yeah, so we should probably be quick. Do we want to
Sort of.
search normally or use magic?
You know, just because I have a feeling that there's going to be wards on this place, I'm not sure. I mean, it depends on whether we want to be worried about being watched, or if setting off any magic would set some sort of alarm off.
That's a good point. I guess to the card catalog then? Good
Loretta
old
takes,
card catalog.
Loretta takes Elizabeth's hand. Let's
Okay.
do it.
You guys walk into a relatively dark library. You're headed to the archives, the like deeper section of the right. You're wanting to go where you met Ashley the last time. Remember?
I imagine that anything, considering that my mother's name is not really all that highly regarded, would probably be in the archives or restricted
Yeah,
section.
it would definitely be in a restricted section. Okay, you guys get up there. There it is. The restricted section is on an upper floor of the library, the second floor, at the very back, and is behind a locked cage door. You will need to pick the lock or find a way to get through.
Well,
you can simply attempt to. You could break it. I
I
guess.
hit it with my sword.
Yeah, you have a fucking sword. Go for it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You get to actually make a body roll. A body roll. As you swing your sword.
Would this be plus fighting?
Plus fighting. I would take a plus fighting. Sure. Choosing of weapon.
Nice.
This is a first time roll here on Witch Girl Adventures. Yeah, that's crazy.
Does my sword give me any bonuses or?
Oh yeah,
sword?
you did take. You had a special sword. It does actually give you a bonus. It gives you. But it gives you a bonus against supernatural creatures.
Okay.
So not against the lock. Unfortunately, it is not supernatural. It's just a lock.
Well, I just gotta hope then.
You got this.
11.
Nicely done.
very nice.
What does it look like when you hack this lock off the door?
She just somehow pulls the sword out of her sleeve and whips it around and downwards in like one big motion, and it slices through the lock and some of like the cage.
Yeah.
links.
Yeah, you didn't quite stop fast enough. You know, you're like new with your sword, right? And Loretta, you watch as it like butter, like
She's
running
also
tinsel.
not used to her own body because her half immortals.
Yeah,
So I just kicked it.
yeah. Maybe you expected it to have at least some give, but there's something about this sword. It's very sharp, and it's very powerful. As you just like slice like butter through this metal lock, this like U lock, and it falls off with just a little U clink hanging in there.
Well, no magic, so probably didn't set off alarms. And
Not
school,
like they were
there's
watching it.
yeah, and there's no school anymore, so no rules, so I can't get in trouble, and this is an emergency.
Well, I mean,
Plus, it's your mother's writing, and it's not good for them to keep you from that, in my opinion.
you know, let's worry about the World Witches Council later. Messed up things enough as it is.
I'm not sure that they are a good authority to listen to on what is right and wrong.
You guys pop into the cage. The camera cuts out on Elizabeth's very poignant last words, and the camera cuts over to the three of you as you follow Aurora Mist up the stairs into the dormitory, and she actually stops before like making any turns to any of the rooms or down any of the major hallways. You know that when you first enter the dormitory, directly in front of you is like a shared sitting area. The girls don't use it because it's right near the front door. It's like not the actual cool place to hang out. So it's relatively untouched. And she crosses the threshold, or the threshold changes back into her form and goes to the window and quickly like closes the blinds, or like pulls these like heavy curtains over the window to cut out the light.
All right. First things first. What happened to your arm? Hold it out.
She holds it out. It is definitely wrapped, so you can't actually see any kind of skin. And she says, "Don't try to fix it." It
What
is the spoils of war.
Oh, Percy digs around in her bag and pulls out like a small vial.
Mm.
My mom gave me this in case of just emergencies. But would a nightingale potion help? It heals 4 life points and magic mental afflictions.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. She grabs it and she says, actually, it might. And she unwraps her arm very quickly. And as she does so, you see that there seems to be some kind of massive infection. It is almost gangrene as it grows in this like fungus-like way. And it's very, it looks to be very magical indeed. And it seems to be going and growing up the arm. It like kind of looks out of place, part of the bone does. It's definitely broken, but there's some kind of magical effect, herbal effect on her. And she kind of pours it all over her arm, and the kind of gangrene or plant fungus kind of it shrivels up and begins to dissipate to some degree. She seems to be under quite a bit of relief from that. And she says thank you very much as she wraps her arm back up again.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm glad that could help. Mom always told me that I had to go everywhere with it just in case, so. Yeah.
She says, yes, we ran out of these very quickly.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, what happened? Like, this place looks abandoned, but like real fast.
We had to evacuate. Well, we didn't have to, we chose to.
Okay. Did they attack Willow Mist?
We learned that a group of witch hunters were headed this way. We learned in advance. And we were able to evacuate the school before they arrived. Though the other buildings on campus, and possibly even this one, are booby-trapped by them.
Oh. Okay. Well, that
When
doesn't sound
was-
terrifying.
Like, was it right after we disappeared, or?
Oh no. No, after your disappearance, which many of us took quite difficult, we decided to stop the search and focus on Akinaida. I went through your things and found in Percy's belongings, as well as the phone that you brought me, holding the mind of Violet, that you had been researching the Highbenders. I got concerned. And after you disappeared, roughly 2 weeks, Violet was seen walking the streets. That's when I knew something was wrong.
So, it's not Violet. I'm pretty sure you know it's not Violet.
Yes,
But just to be really clear, that's not Violet.
we are fully aware.
Yeah. We all know who that is, right? Because we've been told not to say her name. Like,
We
Like, we-
also know where her actual body.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, what was that, Raven?
You know, funny story. We kind of have her actual body hidden away somewhere. But it's really, really, really safe.
Shh.
And yeah,
She says, no, you were telling me that you have her.
yeah.
Where is it?
I'd rather not say.
Secure and
It's safe.
walked away.
Yes.
It's probably best not to say.
After we evacuated the school, she kind of takes all that in. And she's kind of clearly simmering on it, and she continues. After we evacuated the school, I chose to stay behind for a period of time, watch over it. It only took 24 hours from the point of evacuation for the witch hunters to arrive. They found the school empty. They were very upset.
That what happened to your arm?
No.
No.
I reported this incident, and for my dedication to the effort, I was placed in charge of a garrison of witches. We were to infiltrate, in the middle of the night, a nesting of vampire hunters. That's what happened to my arm. Unfortunately, we did not find vampire hunters. We found highbenders instead. We were not prepared, as we have not been this entire time. It seems that Akonaida's efforts are focused on conquering the witch world. Upon doing so, she will move to the mundane world. What we haven't been able to figure out is why the Highbenders want to work with a bunch of witch hunters. Considering the fact that at any point they could in fact turn.
It's probably what they plan on doing then. It's just who turns first.
Take care of some witches, and then once they're weakened, take care of the rest. I imagine.
Oh, I don't even know what to say, ladies. Ladies, where are the other two?
I thought we were racing.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
They went to go pick up something.
Oh, okay.
Important question.
They went to another building?
Yes. Are they still around?
She immediately turns into a dog and rushes out the front door. The camera cuts to Elizabeth and Loretta entering the cage in the library. Or in the archives. It's dusty here, not just from the fact that nobody's been here in a while, but nobody's been here in like a long while, long before the evacuation. There are stacks of books, a few scrolls, some loose papers, and a few like flat drawers that may hold some like flatter parchment and things. One of you is going to need to roll to see if you can find what you're looking for. This would be if you had some kind of like library skill or knowledge skill, but it will be your mind die, I believe. Yes, mind.
Would basics work?
Basics. I love this basics thing. I need to probably read what actually basics does. I would say yeah, it's like the basic ideas of, I think it's of mundane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's of mundania. Yeah. So like the basic way we would organize a library, maybe. I'll give you that. Why not?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be doing a straight up mind roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never hurts. You guys kind of walk in and begin like thumbing through, like looking up and down the spines, trying to figure out if you can find what you're looking for.
Got a 7.
A 7.
Elizabeth never came into this part.
6.
A 6. You guys are kind of like looking and scrolling. Some of these leather-bound books don't actually have the titles inscribed, so you're kind of having to look and lift, and it's dusty, and some of it's not even written in English, or any kind of language that you know. But you do find a series of books that you said you're looking for Loretta's mother's trial? What are you looking for exactly?
Her essays. I
Her
think.
essays.
Yeah.
Her personal essays. Okay. Yeah, you thumb through.
And probably the trial too. That would also be helpful.
Okay.
Since we're questioning the validity of that memory.
Yeah, the trial definitely. You may be able to find record of the trial, but you won't find the actual trial notes. That would be held at the Witches World Council itself. But at that, you do find a series of reference books. These seem to be the way that like doctorate papers are bound for students and things like that. It seems to be a series of them. Almost an encyclopedic series. There seem to be about 10 books in total, and it's just like volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a possibility that this looks to be student work. Her writings may be in here. though it's odd that students' writings would be kept under lock and key.
Okay, I think she's going to try to flip through for the year range that her mother would have been there to at least narrow it down.
Okay. You flip, you see that it doesn't seem to be organized by year, but by topic.
Interesting.
It seems to be that these 10 topics are things that go under lock and key.
Okay. How large are these books? Are there...
They're probably encyclopedic size, but they're like tiny little leather bound. We've got like
Okay,
sections.
she's just going to shove them into her bigger bag, as well as, I guess probably see if there's, not really, maybe a card catalog or a records book that shows at least where things are, like an archive, where things are archived.
Yeah, sure. You can go over, like, take as many as you can. You go over to the librarian's desk, like the library desk. It does look like the computer is on. Like it's on, it's just not been used in a while, so you might be able to search for anything that you would want there. But there is like a small reference guide to this library, like the librarian's reference guide, I guess you could say.
Okay.
For the record, Elizabeth is not comfortable with computers right now.
No computers. Thank you for those bits.
Got a good point there. I guess. I mean, if that's the only thing there, she doesn't really have much of a choice. So I think she's going to search Matry under the.
Okay. All right.
thing.
You like click, your name pops up like boop screen.
Mhm.
Loretta Matry, and then it has your mother's name. You follow it across. It says outstanding balance. $230 $230. She seems to have a late book that's been late for a long, long time.
What is the book?
The book that's checked out. Oh, this is a good one. The book that's checked out is. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I have a whole list of books in here and I can't find it. Is it anything important? No, it does look to be like a fun read. It doesn't seem to be.
All right, got it.
Yeah, it does seem to be some kind of fun read. I'll give you that much.
Whatever 1940s version of Twilight there was. Got it.
Yeah. Yes, it's a love story. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. It's actually, you know what? These are fun. These are really fun. It's these are great. Okay, it's I gotta pick one now. Samantha's Guide to Merry Mortals. This pocket guide is the perfect book for witches who don't know much about Mundania. There's a possibility your mother checked this out for whatever reason.
I wonder why. All right.
It's a good one.
So that was just her name. Interesting.
It's just her name. So can you roll me a computer check? I'm gonna need another check as you try to figure out. Basically, you're trying to figure out the system. So it looks like you search students. There may be another way for you to search it in reference to what's in it.
Probably, like, archival. Right? Well, that's probably students, but
yeah. Okay. Okay. But that was an 8-sided die. So okay. You're like, okay, I'm on the wrong tab. I'm searching through students. I need to search through reference. So you kind of like takes you a second to like mouse, do the thing. You figure it out, and you click a tab at the top that seems to be reference, and you click, and you search again. And a password protected screen. Well, okay, a password protected screen comes up that says reference books. And you need to put a code in. Like, you need to figure out the passcode.
Oh, I was hoping not to cast magic, but I might just have to.
Wait, I have an idea.
Okay.
Elizabeth puts on her spooky ring and starts calling for Molly Daggle.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That's the cook. I haven't even thought about Molly in so long. Okay, yeah, you call
She's
up
been
Molly.
here, quote, since the beginning.
She has. Molly has been here since the beginning. It takes a second. Let's get that. I guess it's technically like a conjuration roll. What does the ring actually do? It just allows you to communicate, right?
Yeah.
With souls around. Okay. You just kind of put it out in the ether, and it gets really, really quiet. And all of a sudden, you hear this faint, like, as the wind, like, picks up. A few pages across the tables, like, begin to flip that are laying there, and a light mist, a fog, filters in along the floor, and it formulates and kind of creates the form of Molly Daggle.
Hi, Molly.
She looks at you like she's seen a ghost.
Oh,
Hi, we're not dead.
yeah. I think you might feel that if we were.
Also, I had a growth
Oh.
spurt.
Oh, I don't. What are you doing? What are you doing here?
We're looking for Loretta's mom's writings.
Hi.
What?
Do you happen to know the password?
Oh, yeah.
We're trying not to use magic in case there's anything that might be crafted around here.
She's like shell shocked. She goes, how are you talking? You called me.
Yeah, I have a ring.
Nobody's called on me in months. Not since the evacuation. I've just been sitting in limbo. I mean,
I mean, I was planning on calling you when I got back to school, but we were kidnapped, so.
Well, we only got back about 20 minutes ago, so, however, if you want to join us for tea, Mr.
no.
Horowitz,
What are you doing here? You can't be here.
Why not?
She like looks around because
Why
this whole
not?
place is a giant trap. I mean, it's
Oh,
If you know where the traps are, you can help us not trip them, right?
I mean, I guess kinda. I don't know. I just breathe, Molly. It's fine. You should Okay, your mother. She wrote a lot of things that upset a lot of people. I don't know the passcode. I could I don't know the
Well-
passcode.
Can you bring us the things that she wrote?
Yeah. Okay. And she like bloops up in the air and like filters through the floor. And leaves the two of you like standing there. The mist
Now that
has
we know this
yeah.
whole place is trapped, let's try to move as little as possible.
understood. And Loretta just kind of stiffens up her arms, like, right next to her body and kind of presses her feet together and just looks around nervously.
Just the whole place
Elizabeth
is booby
doing
trapped.
the same.
The camera pans out as the two of you stand very, very still. The mist dissipates out of the room as Molly Daggle leaves. And it cuts to a dog, a small dog, running as fast as it can across the lawn of the school, passing its way to the main hall of Willow Mist. What do the three of you do when Aurora Mist leaves?
On the roofs now. Let's go.
We probably shouldn't go anywhere if it's trapped.
It's our
Yeah.
sisters out there. We have to go.
Alright, fine. I jump on my broom and I go off.
All right, everybody riding a broom, make me a check.
Yeah.
Kirsten is using her new flying cape.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, your new flying cape does allow you fun new things. So, let me make
Get a
sure.
+1.
So make sure you take all your new stuff into account if you're riding your new broom, your cape of winds.
Do I still have to roll to fly?
Is that a body? Is that body or body senses? No, body.
I would say that, yeah, I would say, you still have to make a flight check, but it's like really flying you just kind of tell it where you want it to go. So I will let you choose, Percy. Do you command your cape to take you somewhere? Like, are you giving it a direction? Because that's a different check. That's a social check. Or are you going to make the body check, which requires the flight?
I think since Percy's still new, it's more of a body.
You're like,
She's
yeah.
still kind of like, okay, I guess we're going. She just kind of like hops up.
Okay. Okay.
So it's-
All right. So for these rolls, it looks like we got an 8, a 13, and a 4.
I'm getting better.
Jess and Raven kind of like Raven behind a Percy. You're still trying to like get it. You know, it's like Iron Man trying to use the boosters for the first time. You're like just not quite stable. You're in the air and you are flying out of that door at a very fast rate. But you're pretty much as it gains speed. You're like like you haven't got your footing yet. You're like because you're moving at almost 100 miles an hour. Like it's like and Jess and Raven, something between the two of you. It's spinning fast. It leaves a flutter in the air. I'm going to have you both make another flight check as you basically catch Percy's wake.
Oh gosh.
Oops.
Oh no.
Oh no! Okay, you do hang on. An 8's good enough to hang on.
Yay.
Okay. An 8 and an 11. Well, you like squeeze tight to your broom as both of you like flip upright as Percy shoots between you. We see the dog crossing the lawn, fastly followed by this broom as you guys come to a resounding halt at the front steps of the school. Percy, make another flight check to stop yourself. Okay, it was better than the last time. You yelled both commands and body things at it. You're like, just do something, stop! As it comes to a like, and it stops right before your face hits the front door of the main hall. Aurora Mist looks up at you in dog form as she barks at you, and the
It's a new case.
Jess and Raven, you guys come steadily behind and are able to land. Yeah.
I thought for sure you were going straight into that wall.
I thought I was going straight into that wall.
Oh, you did good. At least you stopped. You're good. You're fine. I am just gonna like look at the dog at Aurora Mist and the dog front and just kind of growl. What's going on? Like in dog in.
To Aurora Mist, and she's like, ah!
Oh, I can understand her.
Every ounce of it. So that's what you guys hear as Aurora Mist barks at Jess. Jess, you basically hear her say, all the buildings are booby-trapped in various places. There's no rhyme or reason. Some of them are magic-based, some of them aren't. She says, they can't touch anything. If the alarm goes off, they'll be here in minutes.
Oh shit. Jess is like, this whole place is booby-trapped. It's an alarm. If they do something, the witch hunters will know.
Do you think it's something we could find traces of? Like, maybe
she says, yes, of course.
we
They're
could
everywhere.
look into, so Percy as a cyber, like as a, coding, witch can kind of like look into the code. I was wondering.
You're gonna put your Neo powers to good use?
Yeah, trying to see if she could find like any trace of anything that, or like some kind of web of like them.
Interesting. Okay. Do you have is there like a special spell for it, or are you gonna use a special instrument to help you?
So it's a +1 any roll.
Okay.
But I guess maybe she could put her data goggles on and see if that can help her
There you go.
see it.
Percy puts on the data goggles. They're kind of new. You have to like size them to your head. You don't really worn them yet. You like crank and pull. The screens. Now you can see it like it's like looking through kind of a greenish tint, and it begins to like scan. It scans through the multiple layers of the school. So the first thing you see is the exterior, and then the like insulation level with like pipes and stuff, and then you see through into each of the rooms on this kind of very flat plane like way, and then you like see through the furniture, and then it adjusts. And you're able to see that there's a few pieces of furniture that seem to have pieces of technology hidden inside of them, possibly explosive devices. You see that the landline, like the technology lines of the school that connect the computers, the networking, are definitely booby-trapped. There's like all kinds of things written into it, from viruses to like secret code that alerts them, like quiet alarms and stuff. There are no magical traps.
Okay.
These are all mundane traps. Bombs, triggers, signals, all of it something that a mundane could set.
Okay, you guys, so I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is I can see where some of the sort of traps are in the building, and it's just like a couple pieces of furniture. So if we avoid them, we should be good. It's all mundane. The bad news is that if they do anything on a computer, they're probably going to set something off, because there's a lot of like code and alarms and stuff.
Told you I didn't like
So they're
computers
coming.
right
Go.
now.
You wouldn't be silly enough to go into a computer after what happened last time they searched for a computer. Would they?
I don't know, but we should find them quickly.
Yeah, you should
because,
find them.
That's bad news.
And don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. Okay.
Don't sit in any chairs.
I'm not even gonna touch the floor, and I'm gonna stay on my broom and start weaving through.
Oh, wait, no. Raven, come here quickly. Both of you.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay out here, and keep an eye out, make sure they're not coming. But I want to keep you safe. I know there's bombs in there, so just stand still for a second. I'll put a shield on you.
Okay.
So yeah, Jess is gonna cast shield on them.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you guys get what, a +1? Is that what shield does?
Let me just double check.
Or does it go up a die? I can't remember. Let me quick
It's
search shield.
Shield is 10 plus 1 life points.
Okay,
per-
so it's a life point. It's a
magic ring.
pool. Okay.
yeah, and then I have a little augment where it's permanent until it's used up, so it's just like preemptive.
Great. So how much do they get total?
They get
10 plus, what did you say, Eris?
The life points, 10 plus 1 life point per protection magic rank.
Yep.
Great.
So Jess has protection magic 5 ranks.
So you guys get 15 extra life points. So basically, it's like using up a small pool before it hits your real life rank, and you guys feel yourself like beef up. This dog looks up at you so proud of you, Jess. Like
She's very serious right now. It's like, why don't you go help them? I'll make sure I'll keep an eye and make sure if they were alarmed, I'll see them first. She's gonna like kind of whip out her broom,
okay.
swing it around, and then just kind of take off in the air and just kind of.
Oh, I need to have. Did you actually roll for it? I need to have you roll for it. Too.
Okay.
Yeah. It's well. I think all you have to do is beat 5 because it's your rank, so you should
Okay.
be able to do that. But it'll be your magic die plus your protection magic
And then plus casting.
and plus casting. Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, you'll pretty much beat it automatically.
Yeah.
But I like to.
Yeah.
I like to roll just to be on the safe side. Never turn down a good bit of drama. Oh! Yeah, you're like, waved hands, boom, everybody's shielded, off on your broom like a hero. Aurora Mist looks up in dog form. She says, good job, Jess! As all good teachers do. Never go a day without telling your students that they did a good job. And Jess is off. Where are you headed, Jess? Just so I know.
She's just gonna just fly above, just sit on the roof, kind of stand on the roof.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna get a perch look. Okay, yeah, you find a nice little cuddly place. Percy and Raven, you are left with Aurora Mist, and you guys head inside. Where are you headed? You knew they were headed to the library.
Yeah, so we'll head towards the library
Okay.
and then see if we can like figure out where they went in there once we get there.
Yeah, so you guys head to the library. There doesn't, in the hallway itself, the walking path, doesn't seem to be anything that seems to trigger anything, Percy. Everything seems to be in the
Definitely.
individual rooms.
She's definitely keeping the goggles on.
Yeah, and as you kind of pan, it seems to be that they are putting traps in places of personal items. like if a witch were to come back looking for something, or like a random witch might show up to gather something she left behind, thinking that nobody was here. It's very tricky. Or like put one in somebody's mattress, so if they were to lay down on a bed, it would explode. It's not like doorway triggers and things that you might expect. They have very, very sneakily placed these things.
Okay, you guys. So we should be fine walking, but like let's make sure we check everything before we touch it, because most of what seems to be trapped are like items that people would either maybe come back for or like sit or lay down. So, I mean, it's tricky, but we can walk into anything. Like we can walk everywhere.
Terrible.
And you hear a "Arf!" as Rormis takes off for the library, and her tiny little feet click and clack against the floor as she heads for the library.
Well, I guess let's follow.
Yeah, as I fly on towards the library as fast as I can, I'm going to start calling, Elizabeth! Loretta, don't touch anything! Elizabeth! Loretta! Don't touch anything!
Percy's running because she doesn't trust the cape yet. And she's also yelling at them.
As you pace behind, Elizabeth and Loretta, you hear something. Roll your sense die and any kind of perception-based stuff that you have. It's very faint. It's like it's coming from the opposite end of the building, but there's a noise. And as the two of you stand there frozen, it wells up in you, this knot, and you're just like, oh crap, something's... What is it? Sense die!
Windows.
I love that feeling. Nice. Nice. It's scary, whatever it is, Loretta. You're not sure, but it's so scary.
It's us. We're terrifying.
Hide behind one of the bookshelves.
And we'll get Elizabeth's sense roll.
I rolled it.
Oh, did it not
Yeah.
come? Did it come? Oh, it didn't come through on my end. Oh, yes, it did. I'm sorry. There it is. It's 9. You rolled before. Oh, then you hear it. It's like a small clicking. And then you think you hear the bark of a dog. Very, very faintly. And then your name being called. It gets ever louder in the echoing hallway.
Elizabeth decides it would be best to still not move because she has no idea where any traps are. Instead, just slowly pulls her wand out. Just to be safe.
You eke it out and hold it forward, and all of a sudden, the one of the windows in the room like bangs open, and it makes the both of you like jump as it comes from a totally opposite direction. And there, in fact, is Molly Daggle. Mist pours in. She holds a bag, a very old bag. It seems to have like a militaristic like exterior of some kind, like hard like canvas, well worn. She brings it over and she drops it at your feet, Loretta, and she says, "You're not gonna find anything worth reading in those." And she points to all these books she brought over. She says, "Your mother. This is hers."
Well, she would probably want me to have it.
I agree. That's why I brought it. And she kind of again like
I
looks around.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Molly, can you help us get out of here without setting off any traps?
Maybe with their... Oh, I have room. Maybe we can fly out the window.
Just if you don't touch anything, you should be okay. You haven't touched anything, have you?
Just
I
books.
cut the lock off of the door thing leading in here. Was that bad?
And as you said, was that bad? This dog comes like skidding around the corner where it's been like running in its feet, and Rormis is trying to like get her footing under her. She comes into, and she's like
Raven's
panting,
like
making sure
behind
you're okay. Yeah, Raven.
Don't touch anything!
Here comes Percy, and in the wake of all three of you coming around the corner, Molly Daggle and disappears. And Rormis is like, as she pants. Your sister's behind you.
Did you
Laura
guys catch
Mist,
me?
you've been here for 6 months and you didn't summon Molly once.
We should really get out of here.
She like drops her head like, I totally forgot. She's also not been here a total of 6 months, but
Loretta scoops up the bag and puts it into her own bigger bag. And
yeah, you remove the other books and replace it with your mother's personal journals, is what seems to be in here.
Okay,
yeah.
so there are traps everywhere, so we need to retrace our steps very closely and carefully.
Oh, no, you guys. So there's no traps like where you walk. It's more like items or chairs or beds or things like that. They're all mundane though, so I can see them.
Okay.
Oh,
Was
also, don't use the computers.
Elizabeth slowly turns toward Loretta.
Loretta, did you use a computer?
For the record, I was against it.
I don't like saying this because you know I love computers, but right now these computers are bad and we need to not use them.
So what kind of trap was on the computer? Do they know that we're here?
So I don't know for sure, but like there's a lot of like just
Percy, why don't you walk? You can walk over to the computer. You got your goggles on. Also, Percy
Yeah.
has got these giant.
goggles.
They look like night vision goggle kind of things on her face, and she's like talking to all of you. And you walk over and you kind of adjust them to read the computer. It seems relatively stable. Why don't you roll? You could roll a hacker or computer roll.
I have computer programming
Okay, that works.
or computer use.
computer use is also fine. This is kind of a general knowledge of computers.
Let's do it. Oh, I have.
I don't remember. It's not like magical computers neither. Oh, a 1.
Oh,
Did you add the +1 for Raven being in the room?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a 7 total.
Okay, 7 total. So you take a peek. What you can tell is that Loretta was probably on a closed network. This is the personal library of the school. She didn't go onto the Witch's World Wide Web, but she did search some things. And anytime you search items, even on a closed network, it can always resurface. So like if, let's say, the witch hunters were to come back 2 weeks from now and look through the history of the computer, they would see that somebody has searched something recently. Did it send off an alert? No. Not from what you can tell. Like there's nothing like that's beaming out, if that makes sense. So there's no
I
alert
imagine
signal.
if we logged in with the password, it probably would have. So.
Yes, it would have.
Okay. Good news. You only searched within the library system, so nothing went out. Slightly less good news, though, is that if anybody comes and checks the search history, they will know people were here and searching things. So, not untraceable, but not a total trap.
Is
Not
there
like-
any way to delete that?
All I searched was my last name. Nothing they're not going to look up to know about anyway.
Aurora mischanges. She says, not necessarily. Nobody knows you're here. Nobody knows you're even alive.
Now we were dead. Sort of dead. Not really dead, but people thought we were dead.
Oh, yes, Elizabeth.
Could we use the computer trap to set a trap for the hunters?
How would you propose we do that?
Well, if they got an alarm that someone was using the computers, they might suspect that it was just like 1 or 2 witches and come trying to like get us. But then since we know that they're coming, we can set up traps for them. Or maybe we can capture someone live and ask them questions, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we could, but we don't know how many would come, and I don't really know that we're able to handle that many.
Percy's freaking out.
I think we might be a little young to take prisoners.
But we could
But we
we could
did.
set up a program that triggers the alarm once we're in like a safe distance, and we could observe how many are coming, and if we think it's a manageable amount, we can get them, right?
I mean, I can hack in remotely and like trigger something. I think we need quite a bit of backup though.
Percy, could you?
Yeah.
They have connected to all these computers, right?
Yeah.
Could you backtrace them? Maybe instead of them coming to us, we could report and send forces to them.
Oh, I like that.
So I can try, but I can't guarantee I can do it without also alerting them. I'm still pretty new. Like, I haven't finished all my classes yet, and I don't know how good I would be without.
She says, it's okay. I know. I understand.
I can try.
Well, I got that book that the cybermancy teacher gave us of her personal notes. Maybe that can help. I don't know.
What book?
I don't speak this stuff.
What book? She says. Personal book? Teachers are not supposed to lend out their personal literature.
Well, you're not supposed to know, so pretend I didn't tell you.
It was research for a project that we got assigned. I mean, no, we were researching the Highbenders. I mean, you already knew that.
Ladies.
Look, we were going to tell you, but things kept happening.
Then we went to the Gorgon, and, you know, we're all caught up from there.
Elizabeth just pulls the book out and starts like waving it.
She says, come. Let me show you where we can rest for the night. This place is not safe.
Yeah.
Rest, we just got here.
Yeah,
Where are you going?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we slept, and then we opened and had breakfast, and then we opened gifts, and then we came
That's
here.
true.
It's we haven't
Oh.
been awake for very long.
She
so
says,
think it's a bit early for bed.
I understand. She says, she says time is different here. But she says, technically here it is dinner time, which I would like to eat and at least take a moment. Is the plan to call them here?
I don't know. I was just giving a suggestion.
I
I was saying maybe
dinner.
we could.
Oh, she says we can. And I am for this, but the rest of your sisters need to be as well. Do you want to fight them?
I didn't mean fight. I said capture.
She says they will not go down without a fight. Have you ever faced a witch
Well,
hunter?
We have to just take them by surprise and
We
incapacitate
tried
them
doing
before
that
they
last
can
time.
fight.
Yeah,
Well-
last time we did that, they captured us and put us in a daydream, and everyone thought we were dead.
For
Well,
6
we
months.
learned from that.
Did we? Did we, Elizabeth?
Doing exactly the same thing?
No, because we rushed in last time. This time we are being cautious and setting a trap.
Can we do this after dinner?
We can eat dinner while we discuss it.
You hear a faint voice in the air. It says, "Did somebody ask for dinner?"
Yes.
Molly kind of becomes like solid, like just enough you can still like see through her. She's like, "Well, I could maybe cook something."
Yes, please, Molly. That would be lovely.
She Aurora says, "Molly, it is so good to see you. We will see you." She says, "Meet me in the groundskeeper's house." And Molly like nods as if she understands. And whoosh, disappears again to go off. And Aurora says, "I am residing in the groundskeeper's facilities. It is safer there, and I pose as a dog because I'm supposed to be dead."
Oh, you too?
Yes.
Hey, we're all dead here. This is great. Excuse me, how is the groundskeeper's cottage any safer?
Well, no one wants to trap brooms.
Which is,
I do.
don't go to the groundskeepers.
Let's go back to the room.
They have set the traps to capture witch girls. Would any of you have chosen to go to the groundskeeper's house?
Elizabeth, what about you?
Aurora Mist.
Yeah, oh yes.
Do you know who Loretta's dad is?
Loretta's father?
Yeah.
I don't. That was her mother's secret.
Can we do necromancy in the groundskeeper's cottage?
You know, I always said it's better to
Elizabeth,
ask
not only have you grown, but you have grown much bolder. You would like to do a necromantic ritual inside of the groundskeeper's home where I am residing.
Just a little seance, because I mean, I think there's some dead people that could give us some useful information is all.
Who said the groundskeeper is dead?
I didn't say the groundskeeper, I'm just saying I was wondering
Oh.
if that would be a safe place to conduct the ritual.
Oh, it's very safe. Well, I guess as safe as it can be.
Okay.
Are we doing what I think you're doing?
I don't know, are we?
Miss Rorimus goes, I'm not sure I know what's going on anymore. I'm
It's
feeling...
up to you, Loretta. It's up to you, Loretta.
I have a few writings to read, and
Oh, did you find something in the library?
Molly found me something.
Molly?
No, there wouldn't be anything. I pick up the black books. Like, there wouldn't be anything useful in. The ones I already picked up earlier. There wouldn't be anything useful in these, would there? Anything
She...
from my mother's?
Hears you say this, she kind of blushes. She says, Loretta, did you open those books to see what was in them? Oh,
Not yet.
she says, please.
Sorry, your sound's kind of.
Oh, did my sound go out? Yeah, she says, do you
Just for
know
a second.
what's in these books?
Subjects that were supposed to be under lock and key, apparently?
Did you open them?
No, not yet.
I'm giving
I
you
don't have
permission.
time.
Pick one.
She picks up the first one, and
Kind of thumb through it. You get about a quarter of the way through the first book, and there's a very, not PG-13 hand-drawn image. These seem to be studies of either necromancy, so like dark magics, or adult magics.
Sexy magic.
It seems to be some kind of anthology.
What is it?
um,
Loretta? Loretta, what is it?
oh,
What is it?
And she says, I would like to think that your mother did not contribute one writing to these books.
I imagine so.
What is it?
Well, I'll tell you when you're older.
It- I'm mature.
Percy
Well, you
just
see,
leaps in to
when
everybody.
a witch and someone love each other very much, they
It's talking about sex.
It's sexy magic. It's magic that's sexy.
Oh.
Percy shimmies at you
I
in the
imagine
most unsexy
You've
way.
got goggles on.
Loretta
I
is
that, like, Jess
red.
werewolf's ears and kind of it's like, what the heck are they?
Elizabeth is doing like the woman with the math figures face.
It's all a lot. And Aurora Miss simply says, I don't know where Molly found those. And she kind of points to the bag of books. And she says, but those are your mother's personal journals. And that bag, I've not seen that bag in a long time. And she kind of flips it and kind of looks at it, and you realize as she takes it in, there are patches all over it. They seem to be her Hex Scout patches that she put on this bag. And she says, I remember when we graduated and we were continuing our Hex Scout duties on a more professional level. She took all of her patches, so proud of them, and put them on her bag.
Are any of them magic?
She kind of looks at them. She says, most of them look pretty normal to me, but magic is defined in many ways. Something that holds meaning is technically magical.
do any of the patches kind of stick out to me as something especially, like, fitting to my mother's personality?
There's a baking patch.
Kind of, like, just run my fingers over the patch.
Yeah, it's like a baking one. And she says, your mother was a fantastic at baking.
I know. I made her recipe for pistachio and strawberry cake the other day for Elizabeth's birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Do you think she might have hidden anything behind any of the patches, like sewed between the patch and the bag?
I guess it couldn't hurt to look. I look at Aurora Mist. Is it okay to conjure anything here, or would it trigger anything?
She says, I will invite you all again to come with me
Okay.
to the
Let's,
groundskeeper's house. She kind of says, and
Can
directs
we
her hand.
teleport there? I can teleport us there.
Oh, she says that would be lovely. She seems very weak again, almost as if this gangrene or whatever is sucking her magic force. Like, you can tell she's not really using it, and the only thing she's using it for is to transition in and out of being a dog.
And teleport.
Bloop. You usually do very well at this roll, so I'm not even gonna have you roll it. All of you, every time we do it, it's like a 20. You guys plop inside of the groundskeeper's house. It is probably exactly what you expect. Kind of a single room with a bed and a sofa. Definitely a man's home. It has a small bathroom kind of off to the side, and there seems to be almost like an inset piece against the wall where all the like tools and things hang, as if this is a partial shed as well. And Aurora Mist transforms. Of course. Oh no! Wait, we teleported, so she didn't have to be a dog, so she doesn't have to. And she kind of she says, "Now that we are safe, I'd like to show you something." And she walks over to the groundskeepers, like all the tools on the wall. And she takes a hammer off the wall, and she hangs it on a new set of nails. There was like two nails holding it in place, and they were like two empty ones. And she moves it to the empty ones. And as she moves it to the empty, the nails like sink down, and it releases something. You hear it in the wall as it slides. And she says, "Would you please escort me?" She gestures to a flight of stairs that seem to go below the grounds of Willow-Mist.
You hear a knocking on the ship.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot you watched them. There's, who is that? Aurora Mist says.
I think it's Jess.
Oh, Lord! She goes over, like swings the door open. Jess, what are you doing out there? And she like pulls you in. She says, so dangerous. She's like, and here stands your sister, Aurora Mist. And there's like a secret panel in the wall that now slid open as Jess enters the room.
Loretta kind of leans in towards Elizabeth and goes, "Does she have short-term memory loss or something?"
Yeah.
It wouldn't hurt to check. It's always good to be safe. Aurora Mist, when was the last time you had a physical?
I don't know. It's been about 75 years, so.
You'd probably get one.
Are you calling me old, Elizabeth?
Well, it's usually good to have one every
Do I look old?
century or so.
She kind of has a moment of like,
No, not at all.
Aurora
It's just-
Mist. Getting a regular physical is as important as brushing your teeth every night. You should be getting one at least once a year. And you know it. So don't give me any of your sass.
she says, would you please come down to my secret lair now or not?
Percy like sticks her head back around, like she's already started walking down the stairs. She's like, "Are you guys coming?"
Yeah. She I think Jess looks at Raven and just says like, very strange. What was that stuff about sexy magic?
let's just
You hear everything, don't you, Jess?
come
yeah,
on.
it was weird. Yeah, it's like
There are some things out of context, Jess, that just need to be left out of context.
I'm just wondering why they need magic for it. Usually,
There are some things that magic makes more fun.
Like breakfast.
like breakfast.
Afternoon tea.
Afternoon tea. Magic makes all of these things better.
One could say,
in them.
yeah, one could say it's an afternoon delight.
Like that. No?
This is a PG-13 stream, right?
Aurora Mist. She goes over and locks the door behind Jess and gestures once more, very limply, to the flight of stairs where Percy holds her head.
Raven goes down the stairs.
Yeah.
Here's the thing,
Giggling.
everybody at home, you should know this is actually how teenage girls are. This is actually what it's like as we go through puberty. It's not as cool as it looks. We're weird. Stop. Oh god. So as you guys go down the stairs, Aurora Mist takes after Elizabeth. She might even Elizabeth's pointing the finger. Aurora Mist moves it and leads you down. As you guys head into what can only be described as a large bunker. It's huge. It's like the length of a giant warehouse. The staff of Willow Mist is down here, actively working and making. Oh no, did we lose Eris?
Oh.
Oh no,
Maybe.
I think we lost Eris. Look what a beautiful face it was, though. She was just all smiley about it.
There she is.
Perfect. I only have to rearrange some of us. Yeah, so you guys walk into this giant, underground warehouse. Like I said, that's kind of the only way I know how to explain it. And all of the staff of Willow Mist is down there, actively working at different stations. As all of you come down, the room falls silent. Again, they all look at you as if you have, they've seen a ghost. Aurora Mist says, simply looks at all of them and says, "The girls have come home." They all look shocked.
Carry on. Nothing
lot
to
of
see
you.
here.
There are...
First point of order.
Oh no.
Oh no.
She froze.
Wait, what was that last part, Elizabeth?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, what was it? What was that last part, Loretta?
First point of order. We're not dead.
The rumors of our death have been greatly exaggerated.
Thank
Right.
the gods, all of them.
Well, I don't know how
Guards.
greatly exaggerated. I mean, if you really think about it, is death not functionally the same as being removed from society from the viewpoint of others within the society?
Oh, you mean like a
It was
social
more
distance?
like a suspension of animation rather than an actual death.
We're getting better.
It was just a joke.
None of you are other people disguised as teachers, are you?
It is, of course, Mo Twitch, the groundskeeper himself, who actually speaks up first, as the other teachers are, like I said, absolutely jaw-dropped. Mo simply says, "You're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
That's what we keep hearing.
You talk
We're not
too
supposed
much."
to be anywhere, really, so...
He goes, "Aurora, what are we supposed to do with 5 lost witches? I can count 5 lost
We're not
witches."
lost. We know exactly where we are.
I'm sorry, you're right. We talk a lot.
Hey, how are they involved in this?
Yes, how are we involved in this?
Good
Um,
question.
So the
Yeah, how
See,
did
there's a lot of things that were kept from us. Miss
I think that-
Laura, I feel that if we knew before any of this happened, that it may not have happened.
What didn't you know that I didn't know?
What the bumbleberry was? For the first thing?
I agree that I should have warned you of the significance of the bumbleberry. But when I took it from you, did I not tell you that it was dangerous and why you couldn't have it?
Not how dangerous. There's a difference.
Sometimes when you are asked to stay away from something, you're supposed to. So, are you all going to sit here and point fingers at me, Aurora Mist, and blame all of this on me?
No. I feel like the short answer of this is that we were sisters with Morrowind, and she had a evil mentor, and then it all just kind of went downhill from there.
Did you guys tell Aurora Mist you were going after the Gorgon?
No.
No.
I didn't think so.
However, we would have liked to know what we were doing, the cyberspace thing that we were doing.
Well, we believed that you were retrieving Morrowind.
No.
You were partnered with the best of the best. They got you there and back, as agreed upon. More importantly, we were told that we believed we were retrieving Morrowind's mind. We thought you would want to be involved in this. But we did not want to say such until we could confirm it. When it arrived, it was not Morrowind's mind.
That's true.
And knowing that it was Violet's, the Witches' World Council, far beyond my power, agreed that it was not to be spoken of. Yes, Elizabeth.
Is Scion trustworthy?
Scion stands over in the corner. Like,
Oh, there you are.
yeah, Scion's like the whole faculty's down here. Scion's like in the corner, very much a wallflower
In fairness,
turtleneck.
Scion was on the council, and her twin was on as faculty.
Oh, that's right. You're right. So Scion is not here. Okay, yeah, you're right. Scion's not here. So it would have been her sister. What was her sister's name? It was a good one. What was it? It was Hagatha. Hagatha Cross. Hagatha Cross. Is off in the corner. When she hears you say her sister's name, she steps up. What did you ask about, Scion?
If she's trustworthy, we can trust her. Basically.
She says, you ask about my sister.
Well, I just asked because given recent experience, I am concerned about shapeshifters and people assuming other people's identities and things like that, and I just want to know if contacting her is safe.
If you can get a hold of her, I can't
I have this
imagine.
charm thing that she gave me.
Well, she's currently serving with your father.
Oh, okay.
That is
So,
my understanding.
Okay.
Kika, who was the person who gave Elizabeth Loretta's mother's memory again? Was it Hagatha or was it Scion?
That is a good question.
You don't know.
So, and did Elizabeth actually tell Loretta who gave her that memory yet? Because I don't want it to start accusing until.
Think so.
Okay. I mean, if you feel like Elizabeth would have said either Scion or Hagatha gave it to me.
So
I think it did come up in conversation.
One of the twins.
between
One of the
characters.
twins, yeah.
Yeah.
So, it would make sense that you would at least know it was one of the twins, or the figure of one of the twins appeared to her to give her the memory.
So, the other night, when either you or your sister brought a memory to my mother's memory to Elizabeth, you didn't remember that?
What memory are you talking about?
The trial.
Yeah.
The I don't exactly know what you mean by bringing you a memory. If you're asking if it was me, it was not. If you're asking if it was my sister, well, I am unsure. My sister has been serving her time on the front lines since the fighting began. So I have not seen her for months.
This was 6 months ago.
Well, 6 months and a couple days.
Right.
Technically. So either Scion brought it to you or someone else pretended to be.
Yeah, that was a concern.
Scion
I think I
might
might have some reading to do.
I got the impression that it wasn't Scion that brought the memory to me. However, I do believe that was after we were captured. So I can't quite trust everything then.
Loretta's gonna set up in a corner and just start pulling through the books and see what she can find.
Where's a good space here for us to do a ritual thing?
Alright. So there seem to be like the stations across the exterior walls. There are a series of tables. There are some there's like a door that goes down into a series of hallways, which you can imagine is probably the bunking for them here.
Elizabeth was asking that in character.
Oh, okay. I'm kind of giving you what your eyes see, and then I can tell you. And then, yeah, there seems to be like bunks off to the side, and then there's a large space down at the end that's very like open. That already seems to be some kind of ritualistic circle, as if they have been doing it before. But it would be Ebony LaRue, who is who is the necromancy teacher. She also deals in curses, and she taught your music class, if I remember correctly. She kind of, her long fingers gesture towards the space where the circle has been set up, and she says, "If it is a ritual you are seeking,
I was there. Thanks. I'm going to get things set up in case, Loretta, if you decide that you're comfortable with it, then we'll be ready. But if not, then we can just not do it. Okay?
necromancy." Let's
What do you need?
Well, anything with any connection to your mother would be helpful. Really, we have the bag, so that would work out. I think
Takes off her pearls and
Yeah, that
hands it to her.
that would work too. But I think between like what they have here, it should be all good.
I also have her lipstick.
Okay. Let's see. If you guys are going to... Sorry, I'm looking through the necromancy.
I was gonna do call ghost.
Call ghost, yeah. Call forth either the nearest ghost or a ghost the witch knows. Here's the thing. Is her mother a ghost?
That is a question that
That
I would like answered.
It's a question. Okay.
Step 1, Ouija board. Loretta's mom, are you
here? You're definitely welcome to cast it. If you cast it as a ritual, like with everybody, like if you guys want to do a circle, of course it'll be more powerful, and you won't have to roll as high to reach success.
And if that doesn't work, Elizabeth has a crazier idea, which we probably don't want to do.
I'm sure we'll all help though.
Yeah, Percy will definitely help you with a ritual.
And
Okay.
then you also get another +1 from the
That's
reader.
true. That's true. Don't forget
Nice.
that too. Yeah, go ahead and roll it and take a bonus for every girl that holds your hand. So +1 for each of the girls, I think is how it
But I
works.
only have 2 hands.
Once they're in the circle. I see what you did there. I see what you did. Okay, yeah, that works. We'll see if you contact anybody. Okay.
Ding. That should be everything. 16.
It's pretty doggone good. The teacher's watch. As this goes down, because literally you're doing it in front of all of the teachers of the school. As
Elizabeth is kind of like very obviously and clearly
ignoring them. Yeah. They figured it out. And you, you start. Okay, here we go. This is what I want. Yes.
So I will admit the sound went all crazy warbly for the last 30 seconds with me. So
That's okay.
Yeah.
So you guys successfully casted in a ritualistic circle the spell contact ghost, speak with ghost, call ghost. I'll get it right.
And if this doesn't work, Elizabeth has been planning on figuring out a way to combine necromancy and time and space travel to make a portal to the realm of the dead so that we could travel to,
Oh boy.
Oh wow.
which is not safe, but it would be fun.
Nope.
The necromancy teacher watches specifically as you guys do this. The spell takes hold. It is definitely not your mother, Loretta, that is called forth. Inside of this casting circle appears the body of a man dressed in black. Goggles on his eyes where you cannot see them. Swords of some kind hang at his side, along with a weapon. He wears a hat, and his mouth and face is covered. He floats there in an ethereal way, staring at all of you. He seems confused, but he does not speak.
Excuse me, you are not the person we meant to call, so I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Could you please tell us who you are?
From behind you, you hear Ebony LaRue say, "That is the witch hunter that I killed 2 months ago."
Oh. Well, have you asked him questions yet?
We have not summoned him. We did not even know he was a ghost. And this upsets the ghost.
I'm sorry, Mr. Witch Hunter, you're a ghost now.
The ghost speaks for the first time, and it says, "Man, I really thought I was scaring them. You know, I kept walking around like knocking stuff off tables, and you're telling me you didn't even know I was here? I've been haunting you guys for like a month and a half."
You haven't done a very good job then.
He goes, "Hey!" And he kind of like bucks at you. When he does, it's almost like he hits an invisible, as long as you guys hold your circle, it's like he hits an invisible barrier as you've summoned him into this space specifically.
You do know we're witches, we're kind of used to things like ghosts and stuff.
He goes, "Yeah, dirty witches." Oh man, I don't even have spit anymore.
It's not my fault if I'm dirty. I was kidnapped for 6
How
months
did-
thanks to you and your people.
How did my
Yeah.
mother's stuff summon this
Well, if we didn't,
person?
if we couldn't contact, if your mother's not a ghost, then we probably defaulted to summoning the nearest ghost.
Man, we couldn't have summoned a cooler ghost than this.
Hey, I'm cool. I'm really cool. I'm Bad Warlock.
You're
Oh,
Bad War.
And his mouth, it's just like a Freudian slips out of his face as if he's like, you can't talk like that to me.
You're not even good at video games.
I'm the best
we
at
saw you
video
get killed like a bunch of
couldn't
times
break
in
out
a
of-
video game, and you know what? You can't even do anything right, and you're not even a great ghost either.
It's no wonder you're dead.
Oh, side question to that. So, let's take your ego and like bring it down a second. Did you send letters to all of our parents, telling them that we were fine and not dead?
I mean, like, I've sent a lot of letters to a lot of witches' parents or whatever. They pay me to do that, you know? It's good money. It lets me, like, game and stuff.
Who paid
Who
you?
pays you to do that?
Oh, I don't know. Some, like, well, the witch hunters do.
Okay.
The
yeah.
witch hunters that are working with the highbenders who are specifically evil
Yeah,
witches.
they keep talking about this dude, HB. I don't even know who that is. You
That's
know?
a high-
Witch.
Those are highbenders who are evil witches. So, congratulations. you
No
can work
way.
Yeah,
Witch
you-
hunters don't work with witches.
Good witch hunters don't work with witches. Bad. Incompetent witch hunters work with witches.
You hear Emily Rue go, "I remember why I killed him."
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'm usually
Professor.
against killing, always on an ethical standpoint, but I'm kind of okay with this, honestly.
He goes, "I don't know, they just like sent me in here. They wanted me to set a bunch of traps and stuff. And then like when we all came in, they all popped out and he's like, 'Yeah, all of you.' And he like points to the stat, popped out and killed me and all my brothers or whatever. It's just, whatever. I don't get to play video games anymore. It's fine."
Maybe you should have just stuck to video games.
Well, I was trying, you know, but
What made you become a witch hunter?
I've never killed a witch. They make me do all the code and stuff. Write all their stuff.
Did you do it for the money, or did you like?
Well, I
wanna
mean,
get
the money's good. They threatened my mom.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Side question to that again, because now I'm bored of your reasoning. Where did all the code that you did? Where does that send that to? Is it like headquarters, some dude's house, like a specific server?
I mean, I know. I know the IP address.
Ooh, yeah. What is it? Let me write that down.
Aurora Miss. The camera pans across the faces of all of your professors. Half of them look fucking shocked. Like half of them are like. The other half of them, Mr. Aurora Miss looks so proud of all of you for this moment. Ebony LaRue also just is finding this very humorous, and she's still very pleased she killed this person. And the camera pans back as he reads off the IP address to you. You're able to write it down, Percy. I'm not going to make up an IP address because...
No, that's fine. We just write it.
Yeah, you write it down. And he's like, so, like, I'm a ghost, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean I have to, like, haunt this place forever? It's so boring. There's nobody here. Like, I thought, like, a witch's school was going to have, like, hot witches or something.
Oops, sorry, wrong number. Shut down.
And that Raven releases the hand, and he goes, Raven! And it releases. He disappears in front of you, and you now have an IP address. This is the IP address he was using to feed information.
I
That was
have a
weird.
question.
Mm-hmm.
What's an IP?
Oh, so Elizabeth, that's basically the number for the computer. It basically tells me like exactly what computer it is. So fun, I don't have to try and like run through the minefield that is our computer system now. I can go to a different computer system that's not tapped in and track the dude this way. So I can still find us where they are.
I think maybe a mundane computer system would be safest for that because they wouldn't expect that.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So there we go.
But question, necromancy teacher.
Yes, Miss LaRue.
If someone's not a ghost, is that would that mean they're not dead or just not a ghost? Dead but not a ghost.
Yes. That's true.
Okay. Is there a way to contact the spirit of someone who is dead but not a ghost?
You can die and go to whatever is after.
But what if I don't want to do that?
Then you must let the dead sleep.
But what if I don't want to do that either?
She smiles endearingly. You hear off in the distance the coach, the golden-haired, what's his name? I'm never gonna remember his name. The golden-haired man. He
Had a really dumb idea.
Oh, where did he go?
Elizabeth says out loud.
Oh God, where you go? Yes, Atlas Agrippa, Mr. Agrippa, your very hunky soccer coach and broom riding teacher. He's staring at like a screen that have or like a console that has a lot of screens in it. They seem to be cameras on the school grounds, and a light on it that was green goes to red. And he says over his shoulder as this is going on, "It's officially nighttime, Aurora." She goes, "Thank you, Atlas."
What does that mean?
Happens at nighttime.
Does that mean dinner's on its way?
Aurora says, "Unfortunately, we will not be having dinner tonight. It's
Why not?
dark now. You can't be on the school grounds after dark.
Why?
For the same reason nobody in this town walks around after dark."
And that is
Stabbings. Muggings. You know.
Vampires.
Yeah.
All of them look very gingerly to Loretta in agreement. Yes. Vampires.
Well, that doesn't mean we have to spend the rest of the night on an empty stomach. And she conjures up like a whole thing of chicken and dumplings.
I love it. Aurora, of course, says, "Yes,
Well,
Elizabeth."
Special recipe.
Yes, Elizabeth.
Could we install a portal above the school that leads to the other side of the world so sunlight can come through it onto the school grounds?
They all look at you as if like trying to put the actual math of that together. Possibly, but the science teacher, of course, not without setting off the Earth rotation. And they go back to like writing, taking that into consideration, like drawing out the actual physics of whether or not that would be possible without throwing things off.
I feel like it would attract some
Everyone starts
attention.
solving with the math.
It might attract too much attention being a light spot in the middle of nighttime.
It's Ursula Scratch that steps up next, her hair and bun tight as it ever has been, pulling her eyes back in a constant strain. She says, "I'm feeling saucy tonight. I'm going on patrol." Roy says, "You're staying here, Ursula." She says, "No, I'm not. I'm going up. I can't breathe the stale air anymore." You can see that the groundskeeper, Mo, is like almost too close, like in her bubble, in a like very flirty kind of way, and she's trying very hard to ignore him. And so she says, "I'm going up. I feel like maybe tonight is the night."
I made what? I'm sorry. That was inappropriate.
Do you want me to go with you? I'm half immortal. Went to Chiron Academy. I know fighting bad thing.
She says, "Anybody can come if they'd like." You see a few of the other teachers kind of back down. She says, "Fine, I'll go on my own. But I'm not going to sit here hiding anymore."
Elizabeth goes after.
Ebony LaRue kind of looks at all of them. She says, I'll come to him. She kind of almost floats across the floor in this eerie way towards the exit.
Yeah, Jess levitates her broom and catches it and just walks out. I'm gonna go too.
Elizabeth definitely not going without us.
Aurora goes, "You're not going, ladies. You just got here."
Something.
Yeah, I mean, we just spent 6 months in his sleep, so I'd rather do something than wait.
Also, this place doesn't seem to be a school right now, so that means you're not our teacher.
They all the rest of the teachers look from Elizabeth to Aurora, from Aurora to Elizabeth. Her mouth is like, "Fine. You want to go. Go." She like turns around as if not to get upset because she clearly doesn't want you to go, but she understands that you're also very right in that statement and there's nothing that she can do about it.
Well, you've gotten us this far. And we just out of each other's sight. I mean, we know things happen when we do that. So, let's go.
Besides, you can see us on the screen things, right? So if something goes wrong, you can help.
You know, only if you want to.
Yes, we'll be there to help, won't we? And she kind of looks at the rest of the staff, which clearly would not have been there to help. And they all like, as Ursula and Ebony walk up the flight of stairs out the like back hatch or whatever, the hatch that's above. And do you all follow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Percy pauses for a second at the bottom of the stairs. Miss Aurora Mist, are any of the computers in this room separate from the main system, or do we need to go off campus?
Do you mean to run the IP address? For my knowledge. Yeah. Yeah, Aurora Mist says, she says, "Oh, we are on a completely different network, if that's what you're asking, but it definitely could be dangerous. Maybe at daylight you could use the town's computer."
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
At the local library. And she kind of like nods and smiles because the town is still functioning, like the actual town of Willowbrook or whatever this place is called is still functioning. So you guys head up. it is nighttime outside. Usually the campus is lit up with fireflies, and it is magical. There are candles that float inside of lampposts along the campus. These are not lit. There was nobody to light them, and instead it is dark and eerie. You hear the sound of the crickets and the bugs as the 7 of you cross the campus. Ursula says, have any of you ever faced a vampire before?
Last year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, did we?
I
Well,
forget.
technically.
She says, yes, I forget. You were there for the dance. She says with a, except for Elizabeth. Right. Have you ever faced a...
I
Oh.
went to Chiron Academy, so.
Oh, that's right. You're a second year, yes. Well, they're stronger now that she's back.
Well, I'm stronger too.
Do the vampires just travel with their own? Or is it them and the witch hunters?
We're not entirely sure. We have been trying to break down the hierarchical scale within this strange little organization that the Highbenders and the Witch Hunters have formed. I believe, though nobody else wants to believe me, that they have brought Aconida back for a single purpose. To start the next great vampire line, of course. And the Witch Hunters will be the first sacrifice, but nobody wants to believe Ursula. You hear Ebony go, stop talking. Nobody wants to hear you speak. You talk all the time. Talk, talk, talk is all she does. Talk, talk, talk. She gonna starts up again. Ursula gives her an evil look. Ebony gives her that like look back, you know, as if they've spent too much, like two sisters that have spent too much time together. I'm gonna have all of you roll here. If you don't have here,
All
this is a
right.
sense space look, Jess.
Yeah, let me see.
And
All my
Vex
bonuses
roll
for
too.
Yeah, Vex can roll too. Absolutely, if Vex is there.
Okay.
Is the what check is this? Is it body?
This would be sense.
Sense.
Sense die plus anything that you would have in. Yeah.
Yep. Also take the raven.
So yeah, make sure you take your raven. Okay, so the 16 is that what you rolled, Kika?
No, that was from earlier.
Oh, that was from earlier. Okay, I wanted to make sure. I was
5, and I'm gonna roll for Vex quick.
So we have 3, 3, 6, 5. We're not doing great.
Dang, gang.
Oh, I forgot the Raven effect.
Yeah, so just add the little bit of 1 there. Let me see, because I think...
Oh, wow, okay.
Shauna's doing well.
Nice. Well, yeah, Shauna is...
That's her.
Okay.
If Jen had a bad sense roll, we'd have troubles.
Okay. All right. I'm going to roll this with a +7. All right, so that's a 9. Okay. Jess, you hear something. It sounds like footsteps, I guess you could say, but they barely touch the ground. And they're quite a ways off. They're not nearby. You guys are currently on the grounds. It looks like they're leading you off campus and into town. As you guys take kind of this small path out, it's as if there's something kind of off the trail, and it seems to be following you.
We're being tracked. And I'll kind of like make directions like that way.
Yeah, you
Over
point.
there, vampires.
When you point, she notices, Ursula hears as well, like once you point, she's able to pick it up and she says, ignore them. They think we don't know they're there. And she keeps like walking, and continues like banter, as you kind of clear this wooded area and hit a main sidewalk. Knowing you know that it takes another about 5 minutes to hit town. And as you come into this area, there's a street light that lights this small intersection that crosses over a bridge. And the 7 of you stand there. She kind of holds her hand back. Ursula does as if to have all of you stop in the light. And as all of you circle up around the exterior, just on the shadowy side of the light beam, stand 3 figures. One of them is significantly more broad-shouldered, has a massive presence about them. The other 2 are clearly eyes sunken in. They stand in the shadows as well, teeth showing. They kind of catch light. And the other figure, their eyes glisten this red color, and they look right at Ursula. Were you stupid enough to come out tonight? Bringing fresh little ones with you. The other 2.
A nice day or a nice night for a walk, don't you think?
Only if you want it to be your last walk, little one. And
Well, then maybe we should dance instead.
he says, you see his cape like, I am Vlad Dracula. I only
don't-
dance with the dead. And the other 2 vampires like sling claws out, and you hear Ursula say, you ladies wanted a fight? You're going to get it. And she pulls her wand, as does your other teacher, Ebony LaRue. And the 7 of you stand there as the 3 vampires shed their teeth, and we will battle at the top of next week.
Ah,
Ah, dang it.
yes.
Percy's gonna WYSIWYG herself a sword. Or
Oh, look
something.
at my other stats. Oh no. Oh gosh.
Yeah, so next week's check out your stats. Look up a few spells you may want to use. Good news is you guys,
Go already.
you do technically have a necromancer with you. You do have a necromancer.
I do want to say that given that Elizabeth went to Chiron Academy, she's actually really good at this.
Yep. Yep. She was trained for this before she was trained for magic.
Yep.
That is true.
So yeah, there are 2 vampires and then this specialty vampire, Vlad Dracula. Which,
I do want to say after he said his name, Elizabeth would have said, I don't know who that is.
you mean nothing to me. I love it. All right.
Like a running gag, she doesn't know anyone.
All right. Thank you guys so much, everybody out there in the audience, for tuning in tonight for this is episode 3. No,
3.
3. Yeah, I had that wrong. So it should be 2.3, I believe. Let me update that so that I don't forget. And of an 8-part series that we are running here on the Dotlight using the Witch Girl Adventures RPG. You can check that out for yourself. I dropped a link earlier, but I'll drop it one more time. That's Witch Girls, plural, because I always forget, Adventures. There we go. Bloop. You can go check that out. Grab yourself a copy of the game. It is fantastic. We love it. We're back here for a 2nd season, or we wouldn't be doing it again. If you gave tonight in any way bits or supported, thank you. Make sure you hit that follow button, because when you follow, you know when we go live, so you don't miss this magical time that happens every Tuesday right here on the Dotlight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's see, was there anything else I had in my brain holes? Oh, yes! Tomorrow night, we launch the first official season of Scum and Villainy. We took our first 4 and we're kind of calling them a prologue, and we're going to be doing a full 8 episode campaign right here on the Dotlight starting tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tune in for that. Should be a ton of fun. Now, let's go around and meet our witches. Ladies, let's go backwards from the way we came in. So we're going to start with Eris. Eris, tell us who you are, where we can find you online.
Oh no, she froze. For a
Oh no,
second.
she's froze. Great. We're going to go to Catherine till Eris gets back. Catherine, tell us who you are and where we can find you online.
Hi, I'm Catherine Barsonistas, gluttonous_geek on Twitter, and the Gluttonous Geek here on Twitch. I run the nerdy food blog, The Gluttonous Geek. I play Lord of Maitri on this game, and my goodness, we're about to have a throwdown.
Time for a
Although-
throwdown.
Oh god, all those combat spells we come up with on our very, very first season. actually gonna have some use. So yay!
Yay!
Yay! We have to learn how to do that.
Love it. Love it, love it. Oh, she's back! Eris, tell us who you are and where we can find you online.
Hello. Let's try this again. I'm Eris Savad. I have been Raven Callahan, your alteration witch tonight. And normally I am a hula hooping RPG playing seamstress. You can find me on Twitter at Eris_Savad, where I will be posting some things that I made today in, half an hour or so, however long it takes me to finish up getting pictures of them. So, yeah.
There
Follow
you
me
go.
on Twitter for all the things. There's so much going on. Ooh, you know what? Today is your last day to get a very witchy pre-order.
Oh!
There are 6 different products and 3 different very witchy inspired fabrics.
Yeah!
So check out my Twitter for details because it's on my pinned tweet.
You should
Yeah.
definitely get her
stuff.
I have her stuff and it's gorgeous.
I worked out a new process today for my dice trays, so
Ooh!
I raised a little bit higher there.
Did you say dice tray?
I did. I said dice trays.
I love it. I love it. And our favorite sassy teenage, pretty much now in puberty now that you've seen those books, which Elizabeth, played by Kika. Kika, tell us who you are and where we can find you online.
Hey, I'm Kika, KikaBio on Twitter. I play on a lot of streams and I organize inclusivity panels for events and other things too, and some of them I can't talk about yet, and a lot of things are... I'm doing too many things, but you probably won't see most of them. Heck, what were we gonna say?
Well, that's where we can find you online.
Okay.
Well, where can we find you online? Oh yeah, we said that. I can't remember.
Oh, I also have my baking Patreon at patreon.com/baking, where I make put up fantasy-inspired recipes and things that I just happen to make up, most of it by accident, but happy accidents are worth sharing.
Happy accidents are worth sharing. I hear that. Moving right along. Oh, we have a kitty in chat. Or we have a kitty on our stream.
Schrodinger.
Schrodinger. Moving over to Tiff. Tiff, tell us who you are, where we can find you online.
Hello, I am Tiffany. You can find me on the podcast North by Northquest
Oh, yeah.
with our lovely Dot. She'll throw that in the chat for you guys. We release every Wednesday. I just wrapped up GMing over there, and I play and I produce and do all sorts of stuff. If you like sewing and cosplay things, check me out at RTS Cosplay. I will be flooding all of the social media with a ton of photos from Dragon Con.
Yes.
So, I'm sorry, not sorry that it's all going to be like the same 3 costumes for the next month. So yeah, check me out there.
Very cool. And last but certainly not least, we have Jez.
Hey, Shauna Nakasone, Flying Fish on Twitter. I have links to all the games I play on there, as well as the art, and get the art for this stream. All the little witch girls on their flying implements and the little photos. And it's new RPG season, so new games, probably some new art of those new characters. So catch me in that.
Yeah, and I'm Little Red Dot. You can find me online as such, doing this all week long, both here and on other amazing networks. I'm excited to announce Scum and Villainy, which I already said is coming this week. I'll be closing out the Game of Thrones game over on my other home away from home, which is Roll For It. And North by Northquest is closing out the 3rd volume. There's a big thing that you're not going to want to miss there, so get ready. That's not this week, but next week, right, Tiff?
Yes. So, next week will be the finale.
Next week is the
this
finale.
This week is the finale of Side Quest, which also is super crazy. But then next week is the finale of Volume 3, and
I hope you guys are ready.
It's intense and amazing and wonderful.
I hope you're ready.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I hope you're ready. So there's that. So get prepared. Definitely check that out. And I'm excited to say, in the month of September, I'm hoping we're going to see if they're ready. Fingers crossed. September is September here on Twitch, which means every time you subscribe to the channel, it only costs you half as much to do so, which is pretty exciting, I think is my understanding, at least the email I got. But I've got a bunch of new emotes coming to the Dot Lot. So both for the Patreon, the Discord, and here, so we're going to have a giant big subathon happening on the Sunday Fun Day happening in September, which I think is 2 Sundays from now. The 19th, I think, is the date. I'll have to double check that. But you can pop on over, check that out. You can definitely sign up for that. There are still slots available, so I'll drop the sign up here. So get on that. It's going to be a giant subathon helping the Dot Lot continue to do what it does, which is be inclusive and welcoming and tell stories, because I love to tell stories. These people love to tell stories. Oh, and roll dice, of course, because who doesn't love to roll some dice? Last but certainly not least, we are excited to announce that moving forward, the Patreon, the Dot Lot Patreon, will receive... after the Witch Girl Adventures, like an after show, so you can check out the after show by being part of the Patreon. So hop into the Patreon at any tier and you will gain access to after shows, which are basically us just talking biz, sharing thoughts and secrets and pontificating about what is to come. Speaking of, we will see you all again tomorrow night right here on the Dot Lot, 8 p.m. for Scum and Villainy, where we kick off a brand new season, and we're going to start it exactly how we started last season, floating aimlessly in space. Until then, be nice. Or be a toad.
Be a toad.
Till next time, gang. Bye!